Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be showing you how to make this beautiful heart using a graph pattern. A graph pattern is different than the table pattern in that you won't have to use a ruler. Instead, you'll be using these lines. It's much easier. It's a lot of fun. So let's get started. One style of book folding is creating folds from a graph. So instead of you having something with columns with measurements where you're using your ruler, instead you can have it on a graph printed just like this. If you click below, you'll see a link to it on my Facebook page. This is also a good time for you to like and subscribe to my channel so I can keep this content coming. Now this was made specifically for this book, so it's exactly the 23 centimeters that my book is and exactly the same page numbers. So as you can see, these are all blank pages and then it starts on page 37. So as you can see, I'm just going right back to that basic heart to teach you this new style. So since my thing starts on page 37, I'll go to page 37 in my book. And then this is a really nice hack. It's a sock filled with rice that keeps everything out of the way. And what you do is you line this up. Now make sure it's always lined up exactly the same way. So for me, I'm always going to line it up with the where the pattern starts over here. And as you can see, this is page 37. You have two choices. You could mark it here and here and then go back and fold. But you actually don't even need to make a single mark on the page. What you can do is you can go ahead and actually just fold it right from here. So the top mark, I go ahead and I put my ruler right into the spine of the book and create the fold there. And be careful to keep everything lined up, and then go to the bottom mark to the bottom corner of your book and create that fold. So as you can see, this is already my first fold. I like to use a bone folder just to make my folds nice and crisp. If you don't have a bone folder, you can always just use a credit card or a back of a knife, anything you want. Then I go to the next page. Now this is page 39. Again, make sure everything is lined up perfectly. Again, without making any single marks on the page, I take the top point and then I take my ruler right into that part of the book and create my fold. And then hold that right in place, go to the bottom part of the mark and go back to the spine of my book and bring it up. And now I've created the next page. For people with aging eyes like I do, you might find this style a little bit easier than trying to read the itty bitty centimeters on a ruler. It's just another option. So now I'm on page 41. I go to 41 on my paper, line everything up, and I continue. Crease there, and the crease here. So as you can see, my creases line up exactly to the dimension of the same size as this black line on my graph pattern. Now I'm on page 43. I just make sure that I'm on line 43 of my graph pattern. And if you haven't done mark and fold before, make sure that your one side of the ruler goes towards the spine of the book, where the other side of the ruler goes to the measurement. So you see how this is one side of the ruler and the other side is connecting with the mark on the graph. And again, Here's the mark on the page, and then the inside part of the ruler is going to this part. So as you can see, I'm about a quarter way through the pattern, and as you can see, the heart's starting to get bigger here, just like it should. And I wanted to show you, as I'm continuing, if you prefer to mark before you fold, I'm going to show you that method. I think personally it's a little bit easier, but again, it's totally up to your personal preference. So I'm on the second page of the pattern. So if you want to go ahead and just mark it and then come back and do the folding, that's definitely an option. So page 93, and then I just make sure that I'm on page 93 of the graph. Another advantage of the graph is that you can see exactly what you're doing. Like I see that my heart is still now at this point and coming back down, and then this part is still getting bigger. So there's some definite advantages to the graph method versus the table method. So I will continue to do this, and at the end we'll meet back and I will show you the finished product. So stay tuned.